Alright, and we are live. What is going on, everybody? I'm trying to get Rumble up and running too, but I don't know if it's taking, so I still may have to figure that one out. So, if you're over there, Rumble, happy to have you. I can't really see you right now, so let's just go ahead and continue on. I will be playing Ripto's Rage today. And speaking of rage, yeah, there's going to be some of that today. I watched Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, and fuck, man, I definitely got myself into a bit of a nerd rage there. So, first off, let's just get into this. Shit. Yeah, let me just start off by talking about a movie I actually did like, and that was The Rock. This was the first time I caught it ever. And yeah, that was pretty compelling stuff. It was one of those where even the villain of the movie, I really liked it because I understood his motive. I didn't agree with the method he was using. Oh, I didn't learn how to swim yet. But I at least understood where he was coming from and what he was trying to accomplish. So I guess the easiest thing is just to kind of describe what happened in that movie, and that was we have a military man, seems to be pretty disgruntled, steals a bunch of weaponized toxic gas and stuff like that, and uses it as a means of threatening the US government to kind of right the wrongs from some of the past missions, that there were people who died and their families didn't get anything. And so, basically, he's trying to strong-arm the government into, doing right by those families. And I'm like, okay, I get what you're trying to do.
Spyro, the idols we were carving have come to life. They've locked us out of our temples and stolen our food.
And so, the government, of course, doesn't exactly want to do all of this. So they're trying to find some other means of taking care of what needs, of these people. So they're sending in stealthy. Oh yeah, and by the way, these people took over Alcatraz. So they're trying to send people in to take over and disarm the bombs, but they also need somebody who is also familiar with Alcatraz. So the person to disarm the bombs, they have Nicolas Cage, which his name is I'm forgetting his first name. His last name is Goodspeed, but they also call him Godspeed. And so he's our bomb guy, and then the person who is familiar with Alcatraz is Sean Connery. It was Mason. Sorry, I've only seen the movie once, so the names are a little off for me. So yeah, Nick Cage and Sean Connery. Those are our two main guys, and they're being escorted by a team of I want to say Marines, Navy SEALs. Again, some of the details are a little fuzzy. I've only seen the movie once, but those people are being led by Michael Biehn, which was just another fantastic role from him. Completely underrated when you think about some great actors. Michael Biehn should certainly be in that conversation at some point. Just You think of some of the more legendary roles he's had. You know, Kyle Reese. He was Hicks. Oh, fuck. What was his name in Tombstone? Oh, man, I can't think of his name in Tombstone. That's gonna... God, that's painful. But yeah, he just legendary actor. Anywho. Not all goes according to plan. And, you know, spoilers, by the way, guys. So, the military, or the government, more or less calls the bluff of these guys. They didn't do what was asked of them in the time limit that they were given, and it was like 3 minutes left, and they're trying to get a time extension. You know, obvious bullshit maneuver. So, the time goes, they launch the missile, but then redirect it. And this, at this point, our main antagonist has, you know, he's like, look, I'm not going to kill 80,000 people. You know, that the government called our bluff, and, you know, it's over, we're done. And this basically starts a mutiny. And oh man, I just skipped a whole big part. Our hero team, prior to all of this, gets cut down. There was like a fake motion sensor that our hero team thought that they got past. Well, they didn't, because it was a dud. It was meant to make them think that, but yeah, no, it was still very active. So not a dud, just it was a different model that makes you. Yeah, okay, I completed the level, and so this gets the hero guys ambushed. And they refuse to put down their guns, so they all get mowed down instead. So, at this point, yeah, it's just left to Nick Cage and Sean Connery's characters. And so, they managed to get away. They're still eluding the villains. They've had to bump off a couple as well. And oh shit. And then that last, you know, that rocket that got redirected, after all the others had been, you know, rendered useless because they took out like the nav chips and stuff like that. There was only one left after that rocket got redirected, and the bluff called. And so they fight, they save the day, and that's that. And so, yeah, that's really kind of a really shitty summarization, but I'm just trying to hit most of the major beats there. Because if you haven't seen it like I haven't, you really ought to. It is directed by Michael Bay, just for those who don't know, and honestly, that's a pretty fucking awesome Michael Bay movie, gotta say. I don't really shit on Michael Bay too much. Yeah, his movies aren't exactly Shakespeare, but they're all right. They're entertaining, if nothing else. You know, I think most people have a pretty warm reception to, you know, Armageddon. I certainly enjoy it, even despite its ridiculousness. The first Transformer movie wasn't terrible. I can't say I'm the world's biggest Transformer fan, but I wasn't offended by it. The second one, the third one, I think I saw once, and I've forgotten everything about it. I remember the one guy, he was still in it. The fucking, wow, I am drawing blanks on names right now. The main guy who all he does is go around screaming Bumblebee. Anywho. Fuck that up. Yeah, I'm not one of those that just poo-poos all over Michael Bay. Also, Bad Boys is pretty good movie from Michael Bay.
Dancing career I've dreamed of. Take this orb. It could help you go places.
So yeah, he got some pretty decent movies out there, and honestly, I would rather watch any Michael Bay movie versus most of what we have from today's offerings from Hollywood. So I'll take it. So yeah, definitely recommend The Rock. Sean Connery is fantastic as always. I fucking love pretty much every movie that Sean Connery is a part of. Like his role, I guess specifically, the movies might not always be the greatest. I wasn't as big of a fan of his return to Bond films. Not my favorite, but even then, they're still fine. I have kind of a soft spot for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the movie that more or less made him retire. I have kind of a soft spot for that one, and I'm not afraid to admit that one. I feel like I'm missing something here. I think I need to swim to get to that other spot. Maybe just end this one here. I'll have to come back. And then Nick Cage. Fucking Nick Cage. I love every second of him being there. He is terrific. Does not look like I am on Rumble, so, well, that fucking sucks. I gotta figure that out. I'm trying, Rumble audience. So, I'll just try to at least re-upload these over to Rumble so we can get that straightened out. Then I will continue to try and work on that.
Hello there, Spyro.
Yes, I would like to learn how to swim.
Okay.
Okay. Then I would like to learn how to climb ladders. Alright, but so that was the best part of my week as far as movies are concerned. The not so great part of my week was the fucking Jurassic World sequels. Now, the first Jurassic World, it's not great. But I enjoy it. You know, much like I enjoy The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. They're not great films, but there's at least something to enjoy. And for me, you know, seeing the park back open again and having it operate, and then I didn't mind the hybrid thought that they had with that one. I'm like, okay, that's new and interesting. You know, if you can splice dinosaurs and bring them back in, and you've already kind of created somewhat hybrids by filling in, you know, some of the gaps in the genes. You know, why not just create new dinosaurs? Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you, movie. But yeah, it's still not a great movie. It wasn't fully realized and developed. Let's finish this here. Code's like, fuck you guys. Damn.
A Yeti has been rampaging around our home, but we've managed to trap him by shutting all the doors. If you talk to the other brothers, they will open the gates and guide you to him.
Why has everybody got a soul patch? Anywho. So yeah. Can't say I would recommend watching Jurassic World as far as a good movie, but if you like the dinosaur films like I do, and you know, it's fun. I mean, it's got some really stupid moments in it, kind of like the whole dinosaurs as weapons thing. That's fucking retarded.
Concentrating, I should be able to open this door for you.
So, okay. Going to the first sequel. So, you know, obviously the park shuts down from the first Jurassic World. But now Claire, who was, she wasn't the owner, she was just more or less the person in charge. She's now working to try and save these animals, because apparently there was a volcano on Isla Nublar that nobody has ever noticed, and it's active now. It was dormant, and now it's active. And it's gonna fucking kill all the animals, and now it's a big thing as to whether or not they should be rescued, or, you know, if it's just better to let them all die. So that's the big issue here. And Claire is pretty much the main one on this.
A key when you know how to chant like this.
And she's given an opportunity by the spokesperson for this other guy who apparently started Jurassic Park with Hammond, but then they had a falling out. So that's all horseshit. I'll say with that right off the bat. That was like the first thing that kind of irked me.
Each time you defeat an
Yes. That was like the first thing that really kind of drove me nuts. I'm like, stop retconning shit. This guy never existed. He was never even hinted at in any of the prior movies. But we need him just for plot to happen, so yep, he exists now. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. But oh no, this spokesperson, well, he's kind of a shady guy, and he after Claire agrees, and they even wrangle Owen back into this because, you know, we gotta have Chris Pratt because we like Chris Pratt. They get betrayed, and they were being left for dead. Oh, and the reason why they needed Owen is because they especially wanted Blue, and she's the last raptor. Now that information is important for later on. She's the last raptor, and they need her for reasons. And so they capture Blue, and during this capture, Blue gets she gets shot because she attacked somebody, And that guy shot her, and, well, now she's bleeding out. How do they solve this? Well, they give her a blood transfusion. Well, she's the last raptor. How do they give her a blood transfusion? Oh, well, with the T-Rex, because the T-Rex is a carnivore, and they said that has 2 to 3 fingers. That's what they said. Another carnivore that has, 2 to 3 fingers. I'm like, okay, that, fuck off. That's stupid as shit.
Even though
Go kill yourself. So, yeah, they do the transfusion, and of course it takes. But they needed Blue in particular because they want to make another hybrid animal. And what's this hybrid animal? Well, we had the Indominus Rex, which we used some of it, because in the beginning of the movie they also grabbed a tooth from down below and managed to use its DNA. But now it's the Endoraptor. And yeah, it's fucking stupid. I don't care about the Endoraptor at all. So yeah, it's the latest and greatest, and it's gonna be a new military weapon because we're still fucking on about that shit. So yep, the Endoraptor is going to okay, flame all the statues. So yeah, the Endoraptor gets a display because all these other animals that they took are being taken for I need to get over there. They're being taken to sell and used to splice, and they decided to go ahead and just give them a taste of the Endoraptor for reasons, because they're like, well, it's just a prototype. We don't actually want to sell it, but hey, everybody starts bidding on it, so they're like, fuck it, I guess we'll sell it. And this is when Henry Wu is like really against what they're doing. He's like, I don't want them to reverse engineer it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you selling dinosaurs for anyway? So, that shit was annoying. Like, well, it's okay if they reverse engineer all the other ones, including the other carnivores, but we can't have them doing that with the Endoraptor because reasons. I'm like, okay. But all hell breaks loose because Owen and Claire had been captured, but they managed to get one of the Packies to let them loose by just constantly whistling at it and making it headbutt the wall for probably a good solid hour or so. And then they finally get through, and yeah, so they get out of their little cage, and then they send it breaking out and doing all that. And then the dumbest of fucking dumb things is like the lead dude, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. He likes to collect all these dinosaur tooths, and he saw the Endoraptor sleeping after he shot it with the tranquilizer. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go get me one of those teeth. And so he goes in, opens up the cage, and a really like a set of fucking cringe ass moments occurs, and needless to say, he gets eaten and the Indoraptor gets out, and now he's out and about and stalking everybody and killing everybody, and they eventually kill him by, you know, of course, having a dinosaur fight. So Blue has fully recovered. She's got the T-Rex blood in her. And so that's she's feeling good and feeling up to fighting on behalf of the humans.
You have 2 minutes to score.
I really suck at this game, so we'll this might take me some tries here. And so so during this whole event, I forget how this part happened, but there's this gas that gets leaked out. I think somebody shot a container. And now all these dinosaurs who are being kept captive and hadn't been sold off yet.
Would you like to try the first
they
5 gold?
They have to save, or, you know, decide, you know, they have to figure out whether they're going to allow these dinosaurs to die, and they were pretty resigned to that idea, but then the little girl clone chick, she decided she's going to go ahead and just release all the animals, and I'm just like, that is fucking retarded. I for the life of me, I couldn't stand that choice. And what do? They immediately kill everybody, and it's like, you got all these people who I guess were supposed to not care if they live or die because, you know, they were the evil badmen. So these dinosaurs that get let loose immediately kill everybody, and we're supposed to be okay with that because reasons. I can't believe how well I did with that too, by the way. That normally takes me an eternity to do because I'm not very good with it. So, luck of the draw on this one. Alright, let's go flame up these statues. Oh, and so all the dinosaurs, they're getting out, and it's basically like, okay, now how are the people gonna live in this world now? We got dinosaurs everywhere. Well, we're just gonna have to figure out in the next movie. But yeah, that's more or less where we end with that one, and it was fucking stupid. There was maybe a handful of things I was okay with. It's really hard to say what. And I remember putting my review in on Critic List, and I was like, I can't remember what I said off the bat. It was like one positive thing, and I'm like, well, at least it's not as bad as Dominion, and that was about it. It was like one tiny little thing, And I think I gave it like a 25% out of 100. Like it's a really fucking shit movie. It should be avoided at all costs. It did not piss me off as bad as Dominion, but it still is fucking horrible. And so, yeah, that was Fallen Kingdom. That movie is hot caca. But, yeah, then I decided to further torture myself and watch Jurassic World Dominion. And I'm curious to see, like, what kind of a time limit I would have been on before that movie pissed me off to no end. Wow. Whiff. Double whiff. Okay, you know, I was good at hockey. Can't jump for shit. Gotcha. There we go. Look at me. Look at me redeeming myself. Where was that last one? Is it If I remember right, it's probably like somewhat hidden. So we see, like, through some sort of news article that, like, dinosaurs and humans have been living together, and it's not exactly going swimmingly. You know, that there's some struggles here, right? As one would expect. Man, where is that statue? Not all of them. Aw, there's no one. Aw. And once again, we see that Claire is, like, now she's doing some less than legal, it's over there, means of trying to aid dinosaurs. She is... Oh, I should have saved it. Damn it, I gotta do that again. Oh well, I got my orb. I can get back over there. So she's doing less than legal things, and her team, who I really didn't mention from the previous part, there was the vet who did the fucking ridiculous blood transfusion, who, she was an absolute bitch. I couldn't stand her in that last film, but yeah, she's back in and basically just there to quit. She's like, Claire, we're not doing this shit. And the old sissy boy from the previous one too, where I guess he was like a tech guy, but most of what he did in the last film was just scream like a little fucking girl, and I'm like, wow, that sucks. They both just quit. They're like, we're tired of damn near getting ourselves killed to save dinosaurs. And what they're trying to save them from is just a bunch of poachers and things like that. And so Claire's like, okay, well, I still need to find a way to make myself useful, and we're done with her for a little bit. We also see the return of Biosyn, which was only mentioned ever in the books. Biosyn never existed in the movies. We saw Dodson in the first movie briefly, but I don't recall it ever being mentioned what company he worked for when he was talking with Nedry. But yeah, we have Lewis Dodson back. And I guess because they had no material to work with from the books, because those stories, so there's only 2 books. And those stories were already used up in the first Jurassic Park films, right? The first Jurassic Park, and then The Lost World. That was the extent of the Biosyn storyline. So what do we do for this? Well, we have locusts that are eating crops that are not using Biosyn seeds. And this is when we get introduced to Ellie Sattler, and we get key jangle. Even the way she had to take off her sunglasses was very reminiscent of the way she did it in Jurassic Park. I'm like, seriously? We can't even just take off our sunglasses without being somewhat of a key jangle. It was annoying. But okay, so the person that she comes and talks to already...
You're well on your way, Spyro. Keep collecting the...
Thank you. She was already aware. Like, the person whose crops were all eaten up, this person was like, oh yeah, by the way, I used da-da-da seed, and the neighbor who didn't get affected was using Biosyn. So this was already a thing.
Something shine.
But we had to... Sattler decides she needs to go to Biosyn and investigate so they can make a legal case or some shit like that. I don't remember. And I just couldn't help but go, you need to make a case. I'm like, at some point you could just go, hey, something shady's kind of going on here. Only the people who were...
Say, Spyro, you see this? Ah.
Okay, thank you. Only the people who have Biosyn seed is not being affected, you know. I don't think you really needed to do all this, but hey, we have to do it because we need the rest of the plot to happen, and we still have to meet the rest of our old crew. So, she ropes Alan Grant into this one, and I hated the way that those two met up. We saw them interact in the third one, and they felt really natural. You know, Grant's over at Ellie's place in the third one, and they're just talking like they're old friends, right? Well, this one they had to like announce each other, and it just really wasn't very smooth. It was like, Dr. Ellie Sattler, Dr. Alan Grant. I'm like, yeah, you guys should already know each other. You guys were like friends forever. Why did I do that? That was retarded. So, yeah, let's go in here. So that was really frustrating, and they make their way out to Biosyn to kind of go meet up with Ian Malcolm. Hey, remember him? Our old crew's all back together. And... okay, let me play.
We've always had trouble with the gear grinders.
Okay, yeah. That was lucky. So they get out there, and for whatever reason, Ellie and Malcolm decide to leave Grant out in the dark on everything that they're planning. So why Grant is there, I honestly don't remember. Because he's mostly just doing a whole bunch of nothing. Well, okay, well, that was annoying. So let's go catch up with Owen and Claire. So, you know, they have the little girl from the previous one, and you know, she's a clone of of the daughter of that guy who I don't remember because he was just retconned in to be an old friend of Hammond, and she's the one that let all the dinosaurs out, and now everybody wants to, they're searching for her. The they in question is like the government and fucking everybody, because, you know, she allowed a bunch of dinosaurs to get sent loose, so they're keeping her hidden. And, well, they're not that careful, because, you know, she's just going out and about and doing her own thing, crossing the bridge, and they give her a lecture like, you shouldn't be doing that. And she's like, well, I want to go out, and I don't care. I'm like, bitch, you fucking set dinosaurs free on the Earth. You need to get your shit together. You should be in jail. And during all of this, we also find that Blue, the last raptor, had a baby. And they explain it in some half-assed way. Well, she's like part monitor lizard, and they've been known to reproduce just because. And I'm like, whatever. You just wanted baby raptor. That's all you wanted. Just admit that much. And so, like I said, they weren't being careful. They get found out. They get captured. And they're captured by this group being led by some chick that looks like, what's her name? Mirage from The Incredibles. Every time I saw this chick, I'm like, this is just live action Mirage. I think that was her name. The chick that was working for Syndrome in The Incredibles, who eventually turned on him. Anywho, this leads us over to France, if memory serves me right, because they tracked her over that way, and Owen's buddy Barry, is over there, and it's like, okay, well, he can help us track down our daughter, is what they kept going with. So, adopted daughter, and then we get the cantina scene from Star Wars. Let's see what buddy over here wants. And that's when we meet our pilot, Kayla? Maybe? I don't remember. She largely was... she didn't bother me too much. She was just kind of there, though. And she just was... She was Han Solo. That's all that's every time I saw her, that's all I kept thinking. I'm like, oh, Han Solo, Han Solo. Like, and this is an area where another really, really, really annoying part of this movie gets put on full display. And that is Owen's, like, hand up thing where he's like, apparently that's just... dinosaurs are going to respond to that all the time. One of the more annoying parts in this is when they were like the two big, I forget what the name of them are, the two horned carnivore dinosaurs. Owen puts his hand up and they were like, oh, okay, well, we'll wait. We're going to just sit there, show you our teeth, and be looking real menacing. But we'll wait for you. I'm like, wow, that's really fucking unbelievable and annoying. But that whole hand up thing gets way worse later on. There was one part I about just fucking lost my shit watching. And so, yeah, they track it down to Mirage, and Mirage is like, oh, well, we have these laser-guided raptors, and, well, we're going to hit you with the little laser pointer. Okay, big dinosaur moment here. But all of our main characters live. No real benefit here. We just have a little chase scene with raptors, and at this point, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I was so beside myself watching this moment. I'm like, they are going through downtown France or Italy or whatever the fuck I'm at. Sorry, I'm not very good with foreign countries. And I'm just like, what the hell am I watching? So, Kayla, our pilot, well, she feels bad and decides that she's going to help them out because she actually witnessed them capture the daughter, so she knows where they're going to be, so that was lucky. And she's like, yep, they're going to go to Biosyn. So then off they go to the Biosyn Sanctuary, I believe is what they call it, because all these dinosaurs live on the island too. And that's where Grant and Sattler are, you know, getting all the proof they need and the samples that they need for the whole locust thing, because honestly I keep forgetting that that's a thing, because that's so fucking stupid. These giant locusts. They're getting all the information that they need, and oh, what's this? Ramsey, Malcolm's assistant, is also in on the deception to Biosyn, and he's helping him out too. And long story short, all of our heroes all meet up together, and then we get the fucking Jurassic Park music, and I fucking lost my shit. I'm like, no. You do not get the John Williams score. You fuck right off. Actually, you have not earned this movie. You have not earned that. And then they get chased by some more dinosaurs. One of which I was actually... so I gave it a 1% rating on my critic list, and the 1% for this movie was because they brought back the Dilophosaurus. I was actually happy to see him. I'm like, sorry you're in a shit movie. You guys deserve better than this. Because you guys were really fucking cool in the first one. Had one of the more memorable death scenes with killing Nedry there.
Thank you, Spyro.
But I probably didn't need to continuously put those in the correct spot, but I did, just because. Let me take a quick drink. So yeah, they all meet up. They're chased away by dinosaurs, and then they all team up to survive the island. And along the way, we get key jangle after key jangle after key jangle. And I mean, there is some just egregious key jangling here. Even the fucking Barbasol can makes a return. That shit pissed me off. I'm like, I know that, yeah, in theory it could be found, but to find it, you were talking coincidence beyond coincidence. And it served no purpose. Like, Dodson threw it in his briefcase, and then he gets killed by the Dilophosaurus. And it rolls out, and it's like, hey, remember last person that these guys killed? This was a thing. In fact, it was supposed to go to Dodson, and yeah. I'm like, fuck off, movie. I couldn't stand this fucking movie. None of this felt genuine. It all just felt forced as fuck. So yeah, Dodson dies. The heroes get away. They kept their sample. They're about to get out, and oh no, the Giganosaurus comes in. But oh, what's this? The T-Rex comes out of nowhere. Because those two had an issue earlier over some deer, and the T-Rex is still feeling pretty bitter about it. So she needs to settle the score. And it just so happens to be at a convenient time for our heroes to get away. Isn't that fucking lucky?
Thank you,
But oh no! The T-Rex is not going to survive. It's getting her ass beat. Well, luckily this blind dinosaur we also met earlier, when Claire had to evacuate after their ship got... Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that part. Their ship gets attacked. Han Solo, Owen, and Claire, their ship gets attacked, and they had to let Claire just fucking bail. It's like, here, you go and find our daughter, because you're the only one that can do it, says Owen. And fucking ejectocito cuz that bitch. And yeah, she gets attacked by a blind dinosaur. And now I'm kind of thinking, you know, I wonder if that with how disingenuous the key jangles are in this movie, it honestly wouldn't surprise me if they didn't add this fucking blind dinosaur because of Lex's jokes in the first movie. Like, what do you call a blind dinosaur? Do you think he saw us? What do you call a blind dinosaur's dog? Do you think he saw us, Rex? So, yeah, the do you think you saw us helps old T-Rex there, and they team up, and the T-Rex throws this Giganosaurus into Do You Think You Saw Us's claws, and that's how it dies. I'm like, this is so fucking lame. Like, yeah, in the first one, the battle is kind of silly, you know. We need more teeth, but I'm not gonna lie, I fucking loved it, and I know I'm part of the problem on this one. I loved it, so they were like, okay, well, we're gonna do more. So, okay, I had no idea where I was supposed to go when I took off on that. Let's have a bit more clarity here. So yeah, I hated this movie. Yeah, they get away, everybody lives, that, you know, all the main characters live, and everybody goes home happy. Womp womp. But fuck, that sucked. I come unglued anytime I think about this movie. This is only the second time I've ever watched this movie. I saw it in theater. I ranted the whole fucking way home. My poor wife. You know, she likes the Jurassic Park movies just fine, but she doesn't like them the way I do. So she doesn't care as much. And just seeing her just like, oh, okay. It's like, I'm gonna vent about it. I watched it again that second time, and I'm just like, fuck you, movie. Like, yeah, okay, I can do that. Maybe I can make that tight turn. We'll try that. I don't remember how I did this last time. We're gonna find out. Hey, look at that.
Spyro.
Alright, I'll glide over there. This thing you need some fucking patience for. So yeah, that movie was an abomination. And I don't think I'm being too hyperbolic by calling it that. That movie sucked ass. And it like broke me. Like I really nerd raged out on that one. I was like beside myself. I'm like, how the fuck did we get here?
You could have this little trinket for...
And I couldn't understand.
The next glides get tricky. You'll have... Remember to...
Okay. Yeah, I was just like, how in the fuck did we get to this level shitty writing from the first one? Like, the first one is just, it is my favorite film of all time. Now, some of that I will admit is nostalgia, but even still. You know what? I'm not gonna fuck around. I'll take my time. And I just... This was really just key jangle the movie. Everybody had to have like a moment to... when they were being introduced, it's like, hey, remember them? Yeah, you like these characters, don't you? Yeah. And then, oh, yeah, so going back to when Ellie and Grant meet up for the first time. Grant's like, oh, hey, how's your kids? Oh, okay, yeah. How's Mark? You know, your husband from the third film? Oh, well, we're done. I'm like, okay, so they have to correct the thing that most people were pissed about in the third film and bring those two back together, but we're gonna force the fuck out of this. And yeah, it was forced. And those two had like no chemistry in this movie. In the third film, those two were still like really good with one another. I was angry because I really liked them, and I was like, I want to see you guys together. Who's this Mark guy? Fuck Mark. I don't know Mark. But yeah, I didn't want them to correct it like that. I was like, what's done is done, you know. That was 20 years ago when Jurassic Park 3 came out. Now we're just gonna inexplicably like separate the two just so we can quote unquote correct the mistakes of the past. I'm like, okay, that's fucking stupid. That's really, really dumb. Somebody else, I was watching Critical Drinker, and he brought up at one point, you know, as far as Han Solo and her plane there, she has one ejection seat, but it's not for the pilot. That is a little odd. No parachutes either. Also, pretty fucking odd. But we have to have it like this, so only Claire can go. It's just bizarre, the way that they did this. See our little goober guys here. Oh, look at all the little turtles.
Hi, Spyro. It's a good thing you're here.
Alright, so I gotta escort the little turtles on over. Now, I always remember this level because of the chef side mission. When I was younger, that mission kicked my ass forever. But, okay. So yeah, there was no shortage of key jangles. Even like the characters that are in this, I just feel like are key jangles. Like I said, our main villain is Lewis Dodson, and he hadn't been referenced or mentioned since the very first movie. Oh yeah, just claiming. And so I'm like, okay, you guys were really out of like people to use, weren't you? You gotta go back to the book and dig up Biosyn and Dodson. But you have nothing to work with, so you guys had to try and brainstorm how to do that one. And the absolute best that they could come up with is crop-eating, like giant locusts, that they later turned into fire locusts. Oh man, that was something. I was like, I'm sorry, but this movie, I'm kind of childish when it comes to my overall thoughts on this movie, but this movie just doesn't require, or doesn't, it doesn't deserve the brain power to really process it. It's fucking horrendous. There's only like one other movie that's put me in that kind of a nerd rage, and that was the Ninja Turtle Mutant Mayhem. But I'm not going to talk about that movie at the moment, but yeah, that movie pissed me off about as bad. But yeah, I already had a review in for that one, so I don't feel a need to go back to that. I was just doing the Jurassic World arc, and I'm like, I am never, ever, ever gonna watch Dominion ever again. Fuck that movie. And I mean, if I'm really curious to know why somebody would like that movie. What is it about Dominion that they would actually find interesting? Because I honestly could not find one single thing that I actually liked. Everybody felt like they were just phoning in their role. Even Chris Pratt was really not very good in this movie. He was pretty bland. And I was like, wow. Even the actors just are like, I don't fucking care. Except for, God, what was it? Kayla? I want to say it was Kayla. The chick I keep calling Han Solo, because that's all she is. She seemed like she was at least having a good time. But I mean, it was like, hers was the very first role. Or, you know, like, her first Jurassic Park movie, whereas everybody else is like, yeah, I've done this. This is like my third, fourth movie. Because even Ellie's been in 3 at that point. Because she had like a little bit role in the third one. But yeah, I just... Oh yeah, I totally forgot to mention this. So, the whole Owen hand up bullshit thing, that was driving me nuts, but it came to an absolute fucking boiling point for me when they were trying to wrangle up the little baby raptor to try and get it out of there. And fucking Clone Chick and Dr. Grant both do the little hand thing to corner it. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I was like, this is fucking retarded. Like, this is some of the dumbest shit, yeah. Going up that ladder.
Hello, young one.
That chef. Stuff of nightmares for me. That second part. These turtles that desperately want to fucking make themselves into soup. Dumbass turtle. Get your fat ass on up there. Alright, I think I've killed enough to go back. Oh, there we go. Like, wait. Yeah, that part right there, I was like, fuck you, movie. Fuck you so much with that. So, yeah. I fucking hate the hell out of that movie. I'm sorry, I know I'm like still saying that, but yeah, no, I almost had it. So yeah, that. Oh man, if I never watch that movie ever again, that would just be wonderful. I don't know. Maybe I can be talked into it at some point. I don't know what it would take. Oh, shit. There we go. Killed a little starfish with that blast instead of the box like I wanted. No matter. I was able to recover. Ah. Not the most graceful of swimmers in Spyro. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of like with Mutant Mayhem from the Ninja Turtles. Like, I try and be talked back into either of those. I don't honestly know what it would take for me to fucking do it. Because I have more. I don't want to lose all my sanity trying to fucking watch that.
Thingamajig as a token of our everlasting gratitude.
So at least I got to watch The Rock. So there's that. That was at least something worth watching. And it's hard to say if I prefer young Sean Connery or old man Sean Connery. Funny thing is, I put a review in on that on Criticalist again, and I said that Nicolas Cage was a national treasure, and I totally blanked on the fact that he starred in movies called National Treasure. Like, that was a pun that I did not intend for, but I'm kind of proud of myself for it. Like, hell yeah. But I still stand by that as a correct statement. Nicolas Cage is a national treasure. And that movie also felt kind of like Con Air. And I'm not talking just because he's in that movie. It's just some of the shots in it, I'm like, wow, that
Thank you, young dragon.
definitely feels like a little bit like Con Air. So, I didn't rant on that as long as I thought I would. Perhaps I've lost a little bit of steam from yesterday's when I finished it. I was just smoking, just fuming big time. But yeah, next, so I was showing my son all these movies because he's big into the Jurassic Park right now, and he makes me happy because so he's 4, and he's like, Dad, I want to watch that scene. And what he means is he wants to watch the T-Rex scene from the very first one. I'm like, oh, that makes me so proud.
Nice work, Spyro.
So like it's a real proud papa moment there for me. And so he actually asked for that this morning. And I'm like, you know what, son? After the absolute garbage film that I just had to endure, yes, we will totally watch the T-Rex scene from the first one. And that at least made up for what I had to endure from yesterday. Yeah. Okay. Wow, okay, so did something good by, you know, and then completely fucking shit up. But yeah, so I was showing him all the Jurassic Park movies, and I plan on watching the 7th one. I am not going to watch that shit in theater. No, they done burned that bridge. So I don't know. I may go to my friend's house over there in Tortuga, but I plan on seeing it, and I'm gonna give my overall thoughts. I'm like, there's no, that it is physically impossible for it to be worse than Dominion. I'm about 100% certain that they cannot make it worse than Dominion. They might try. I honestly think that they'll give it their hardest try there, but.
Hi, Spyro.
Oh, YouTube's giving me a little error. That's alright. If it's too fucked, I can always just do a re-upload with my recording. No worries there. Alright, so I think I'm gonna wrap this one up. Oh, and what I'll be going after next is gonna be Jaws. But otherwise, I think I'm done for tonight. I got all that shit off my chest. So thank you for sitting here and listening to me rant and rave about fucking Jurassic World Dominion and Fallen Kingdom. So, but yeah, I've done enough on the game for right now. So, alright. But, I thank you for checking out the stream, and I don't know, I may come back tomorrow night and do some more of this. I'm not trying to make Mondays a regular thing, but yeah, we'll try. And I'll see if I can't get Rumble all squared away either. I don't know. I honestly think that that's just more or less me. So, alright. Well, that is all I have for today, guys. So until next time, take care, and God bless.